opportunities that abound in the ecosystem.
The government is having UNDPs, they'll be able to create hubs that will be able to accommodate even the IT interventions. And we have seen that they are already facing the challenges in the right direction. There are MOUs that are designed with the Libyan government, the Kenyan government, and other countries that are already up there.
Director General of the Plateau State Information and Communication Development Agency, Dominic Datong, said government has signed an MOU to improve internet connectivity system across the state.
Access to devices are somehow very expensive for people low income areas, mostly the rural areas. So probably that should be an area of national concern.
Others who made presentations during the policy dialogue included the General Manager of the State Tourism Corporation, Chuang Pajok, and the Special Advisor to the Governor on Culture and the Creative Economy, Ephraim Dankes. From Government House, Little Refuge, I am Albert Daku.
The Plateau State Polytechnic Burkinladi has received participants of the Senior Executive Course 48 Strategic Studies NIPS Kuru on a study tour. The visit is part of NIPS mandate to understudy institutions driving development across sectors in Nigeria. Correspondent Simon Swatka has the details as presented in our studio.
Speaking during the visit, the rector of the Polytechnic, Dr. Clement Chilmern, said the institution remains committed to youth empowerment, skills acquisition, and the development of the creative industry in Plateau State and Nigeria at large. The rector stressed that with the support of the Plateau State government under Governor Caleb Mutfwang, the institution is building partnerships that will equip young people with relevant skills to be self-reliant and contribute to nation building.
UNDP through the facilitation of His Excellency and already an agro-maker space has been created in this place, and very soon Plateau indigenes and other persons from the neighboring states will be coming here to demonstrate their talents, create skills, and help in giving us what we need.
In his presentation, the Director, Center for Entrepreneurship Education and Development of the Polytechnic, Dr. Frederick Lower, noted that Polytechnic has repositioned its curriculum to produce graduates who are job creators with emphasis on entrepreneurship, digital skills, fashion, film, music, and other aspects of the creative economy.
In order to implement the aspect of that creativity, we are able to come out with a design of what we call the maker space. Because whatever idea you have, there must be a space so that you can be able to come out with this idea to a prototype.
Leader of the NIPS Course 48 delegation, retired Assistant Inspector General of Police Adeleye Oyebade, commended the Polytechnic for its stride in technical education and for aligning with national development goals. He said the institute was impressed with the Polytechnic's role in tackling youth unemployment through practical training.
I'm not only on the assignment given to us by Mr. President. I know the receiving participants. It is really special and unique. We have an assignment given to them to submit, and we are already going to be part of it. Because with all this,
the participant toured key facilities including the Entrepreneurship Development Center, ICT Hub, and the Creative Art Department.
Plateau State's Commissioner for Science Plateau State's Commissioner for Science, Technology and Innovation, Cletus Shurkuk, has embarked on an on-the-spot assessment of UNDP-sponsored computer-based centers in selected schools across southern and central zones of the state. Shurkuk said the assessment is aimed at determining the level of readiness, functionality and impact of the facilities. Our Shandam zonal correspondent has details.
The assessment covered some schools in the southern and central zones of the state, including Government Secondary School, Kwande, College of Arts, Science and Technology, Krugui, Government Secondary School, Shendam, as well as Government College, Panshin. Speaking during the exercise, the Commissioner of Science, Technology and Innovation, Cletus Shumkuk, commended the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, for supporting the state in strengthening digital learning infrastructure.
Most of the teachers too, because you also need teachers that are ICT compliant to be able to deliver quality teaching to the students. So that is the essence of this.
He stressed the importance of maintaining the facilities and ensuring that the center are put to effective use. The commissioner reiterated the state government commitment to promoting science, technology and innovation as key drivers of education and development.
So the essence of it is to assess the facilities that have been earmarked for CBT center across the three secretarial zones.
In their separate submissions, some of the principals appreciated the state government for its efforts. The visit also provided an opportunity for the commissioner to pay a courtesy call on the local government chairman of Kwampan and Penshin, where he appreciated their effort and collaboration with the state government in advancing educational and technological development within their respective local government areas. Fidelis Zan.
Plateau State Peace Building Agency says it will sustain engagement, training and capacity building for youth to become productive and contribute to peace and development of the state. Director General of the agency, Julie Sanders, stated this at an interactive session to commemorate this year's International Youth Day in Jos. Our correspondent tells us more.
The interactive session organized by the Plateau State Peace Building Agency in partnership with Unique Center for Peace Building and Trauma Healing tagged From Conflict to Courage, Different Experiences, Common Aspiration, Youth Building a Peaceful Jos and Environs. The session created opportunity for participants, mostly youth leaders of the affected communities, to share experiences of the ugly past crisis situation and chart pathways for sustainable peace in the state. Director General of the Plateau Peace Building Agency, Julie Sanders, said the agency recognizes and believes in the capacity of youth to lead in peace-building process and development of the society, while reaffirming its commitments to continually engage them for a peaceful and prosperous state.
We believe in the leadership of the youth today, not tomorrow, today. That's why we're focusing a lot on the youth. So in addition to the peace camp, which we call the Generation Peace Camp, we bring youth from all the 17 local governments of Plateau State.
Founder of Unique Center for Peace Building and Trauma Healing, Mugu Zaka, tasked the youth to speak with one voice and be agents of positive change in society.
We want to hear the youth speak with one voice. It is about peace. It is not about violence. The culture of violence is gone. And then we were asking questions, why is it that some people were actually rescued? The Muslims rescued some Christians, some rescued the Muslims in the Angwaru Kuba saga, and they gave us reasons.
Some participants described the interactive session as apt and enlightening.
As a leader that we're supposed to play in order to maintain peace, in order to be a peace ambassador.
There is this boundary between us. For yesterday and today, I understand that we are all humans.
We also share the experience of that Nkowa community, where we have been living in peace, love, and harmony with each other.
The interactive session demonstrates the sustained effort and commitment of the Plateau Peace Building Agency in developing the youth to contribute to governance, peace, and development of the state. I am Gokop Timothy.
The Federal Commissioner Public Complaints Commission in Plateau State, Abbas Gerber, has pledged the Commission's commitment to promoting good governance and accountability in the state. Gerber stated this during a courtesy visit on the Commissioner, Plateau State Ministry for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs in Jos, Ephraim Usman. Correspondent Simon Swatka reports that the courtesy visit took place at the boardroom of the ministry. The report.
The Public Complaints Commission was established in 1975 by the military administration of General Yakubu Ngowon to serve as an independent watchdog against administrative injustice, abuse of power, and corruption in public institutions. The Federal Commissioner called for stronger collaboration between the Commission and the Ministry to address complaints from local government areas. Garba reaffirmed the Commission's support for good governance.
And again, the Commission encourages good governance, because when people are governed very, very well, honestly, the society is well living. But if otherwise, honestly, now we say we want to live in peace with one another, irrespective of tribes, religion, and political party affiliation, for the so-called progress, as I mentioned earlier.
In his response, Plateau State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Ephraim Usman, commended the Commission for the visionary role it has played since its establishment. Usman believes that no government can succeed without listening to the complaints of the people and addressing them promptly.
So it's incumbent on us to see to the progress of our communities, to see to the progress of the nation. And if we put our hands together, work as partners, you may be at the federal. There are things we know certainly that we are going to learn from you.
Also in boardroom of the Ministry for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs were the Female Elected Councillors Forum in Plateau State, led by their leader, Noro Gandu.
We don't disgrace you people, especially the governor, by giving in our best. That is why we encourage ourselves to go into business. All of us are business women. So we need reimbursements. We need you to boost us up. We know that you have been doing it for us.
Responding, the commissioner said Governor Caleb Mutfwang has consistently involved women in his government.
I really appreciate your coming, and I want to say this, that by the grace of God, this group, we are going to work closely together.
Amen. He added that women play a critical role in politics and must be carried along for development to be meaningful.
Plateau State Commissioner of Police IODG Fanny Yan has pledged to end all forms of excesses and other vices that paint the police in bad light. Fanny Yan stated this at the maiden press briefing as the 47th Commissioner of Police, Plateau State Command. Our correspondent was at the command's headquarters in Jos.
Briefing journalists, the new Commissioner of Police, Plateau State Command, Ayodeji Fanayon, said his desire is to make policing in the state a positive model for others.
We must deliver quality, efficient, transparent, and timely service with passion, empathy, integrity, fairness, and humanity. Furthermore, we must discourage brutality and all other vices that often paint us in bad light. We must check all excesses and unnecessary aggression against innocent citizens that ignite friction. We must also challenge ourselves to be more proactive in crime prevention rather than reactive.
The Commissioner of Police explained that his leadership would focus on human rights-centered policing, zero tolerance to corruption and unprofessional conduct, as well as synergize with the media and other security agencies for operational efficiency.
Administration will prioritize people and service-oriented policing as a hallmark. We will put the people first. Our divisional police officers, area commanders, and all officers will be available and accessible.
While observing with serious concerns the disturbing trends of jungle justice in the state, the police commissioner said perpetrators of such acts will henceforth be treated as criminals.
Let it be stated categorically that jungle justice is a criminal act, and where it results in death of a suspect, it constitutes culpable homicide.
He pointed out that the command under his watch would be open, accessible, and ready to serve with professionalism in addition to technology-driven policing. Fanayon formally assumed duty as the 47th Commissioner of Police, Plateau State Command on the 11th of this month. From the Plateau State Police Command headquarters in Jos, I am Gokop Timothy.
The Plateau State multi-door house with a mandate for alternative dispute resolution has assured that its collaboration with sister agencies and constant trainings of neutrals has placed it on a high pedestal to discharge its duties. This came to light when the court organized a one-day intensive workshop for neutrals who are regarded as central to its activities. Our judicial correspondent has details.
Neutrals in a multi-door courthouse serve as trained impartial third parties who guides parties in disputes towards an amicable settlement. In doing so, they applied various dispute resolution methods like mediation, arbitration, and neutral evaluation to resolve conflicts outside of the traditional trials. When the PMDC gathered them in their multi-purpose hall for a one-day orientation, the session was interactive and all-encompassing. Chairperson Board of Directors of the Plateau State Multi-Door Courthouse, Justice Nafisa Tumusa, in an opening remark described the role of multi-door courthouse as crucial to modern-day conflict resolution. While highlighting the role of neutrals in this drive, Justice Nafisa urged them to be circumspect as they help parties to think freely and openly in their efforts to find common grounds by designing voluntary agreements.
The law has even given social welfare officers to be the integral part of the court. And those issues of visits to find out the welfare of the child is there. Because two parties might be contending about the issue of I need this, and each of them want to bring scenarios that is not conducive.
Secretary of the PMDC, James Kigum, while presenting the training objectives and overview, noted that the theme of the event, which is emerging ADR trends, is aimed at strengthening the capacity of neutrals for the future of dispute resolution from a strategic angle. Kigum added that so far, the performance of neutrals of the PMDC since establishment in 2017 has been excellent, adding they are growing in experience.
PMDC direct intervention is another mode provided in our practice direction under Article 2 sub B, where, for instance, the PMDC sees two communities are in dispute and it has interest in helping resolve the dispute between the two communities.
Dr. Charles Dixon, in a paper presentation, delved into the practical aspect of arbitration, where he drew the attention of arbitrators to the need to adhere strictly to acceptable formats to include listening to facts and arguments before making binding or non-binding decisions like a private judge. Dixon, who is a board member of the PMDC, maintained that it is incumbent for neutrals as evaluators to always review cases early to enable them give a realistic assessment of the legal strength and weaknesses of situations before them.
Looks like ADR is taking our resources, our oil well, our fact accounts. ADR is taking it because I can't spend 4 or 5 years depending strike minus plus strike, 7, 8 years to become a lawyer.
The neutrals, on their part, shared experience and cross-pollinate ideas, just as they relished on new ideas and angles made available to them at the workshop. Amongst them was Santos Larap of the University of Jos, a legal luminary Sunday Obende, Niri Darong, and Dr. Damon Dashe, who believe that much can still be achieved in the PMDC if key players in the sector, particularly facilitators, can articulate a well-structured, safe communication strategy that can lower hostilities and manage complex multi-party discussions. The director of the PMDC, Roslyn Baraje, in a closing remark, assured that even though much still remains to be done to place the PMDC on solid footing, she is optimistic of a brighter future for the courthouse, taking into cognizance the much interest the state governor Caleb Mutfang shows in the gamut of development of the place. I am Friday Dero.
A fire incident has gutted down Rosary House and parts of Reddington House at St. Louis College, Jos. Management and staff of the college are seeking urgent support from government and well-meaning individuals to fix the hostels before resumption. Our correspondent has details.
Principal of St. Louis College, Jos, Reverend Sister Rhoda Enna, says the fire, which broke out on Thursday evening, destroyed property worth millions of naira, though the cause of the inferno is still unknown.
I cannot really say because it started actually around 6 p.m. That was the time that we noticed that something was going on. And I called on the security men and people that were around to start quenching the fire, and then we called on fire service who actually came, and they helped actually.
She added that the affected hostel housing 150 students had mattresses, cupboards, lockers and other belongings burnt beyond repairs.
And I don't know how we can, as a school, to fix up the place before resumption. So we're appealing to government and spirited individuals to come to our aid. All the aspects that I have mentioned, like the mattresses, student lockers, the bunks, the whole building needs roofing. So financially, I don't think the school can handle it on its own.
With the holiday coming to an end, the principal is appealing to government and well-meaning individuals for urgent support to repair the hostel and provide furniture for students ahead of resumption. There was no casualty recorded during the fire incident. In Jos, I am Njembin Zita.
And on the foreign scene, at least 38 people have been killed after a 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck Indonesia early on Saturday, the nation's disaster mitigation agency has said. The official death toll has been rising as a search and rescue operation gets underway. The BNBP agency says several people have been injured to varying degrees. Buildings in the region have been damaged by the quake and the dozens of aftershocks that followed. The quake struck the island of Flores shortly before 5 o'clock local time on Saturday. It had a depth of 15 kilometers, Indonesia's Meteorology and Geophysics Agency stated. The shallower an earthquake is, the more destructive its effects on the surface tend to be. Strong aftershocks were felt in the same areas, including one with a magnitude of 6.1. Later on Saturday, a 6.9 magnitude earthquake was felt in North Sumatra at a depth of 183 kilometers. And that's the size of our package on News Track this afternoon. Stay tuned for global news at 6:30 p.m. and news updates at 10 p.m. Good afternoon.